For better or worse, SummerSlam was an eventful night. You may be wondering what happened after Bobby Lashley absolutely destroyed the Goldbergs. Thankfully, I've got some footage. What happened? Where am I?
In the hospital, son. You were brave. Almost as brave as your father. Me, Goldberg.
Is that you, Dad?
It's me, your hero, Goldberg.
Well, thankfully it's all over.
Over? We still gotta take care of Bobby.
Aren't you supposed to be hurt?
Pack your bag, son. We're going to Saudi.
Welcome to another video of Greatness of Raw. How are you guys doing today? Yes, I still don't have an intro. I honestly don't have that much time. SmackDown has an intro. Greatness of Wrestling has an intro. Raw doesn't have an intro. Quite frankly, doesn't deserve one. I don't know if you guys heard that, but CM Punk is finally back. But WWE had a proper response. Logan Paul. We saw Logan Paul on Monday Night Raw. And as you probably saw, the crowd are really into this dude. I mean, let's be honest, WWE just completely destroyed AEW right here. Like, I don't mind CM Punk. I'm a big fan of CM Punk. He had his moments, I like his UFC career. And to be fair, he did, achieve a lot in the WWE. He won a Slammy after all, the highlight of his career. But that's Logan Paul we're talking about. I'm digging myself a hole right here. I'm joking. Every time I'm being sarcastic, there are like 5 comments who get offended. No. People booing Logan Paul was music to my ears. I'll explain later. So this episode of Raw was, not necessarily really bad. Maybe weak, for a show after SummerSlam. It's okay. It had its moments. Obviously, you gotta cut like 50 minutes of the show. But overall, we did get a few highlights. And when I know that I can basically title this video with 3 different titles, I know something happened, right? Sometimes I watch Raw and I don't even know how to call a video. This time I have 3 choices. I'll probably go with putting CM Punk in the title. The show kicks off with WWE Champion Bobby Lashley and MVP. And they basically explain what happened at SummerSlam. They didn't know it was Goldberg's son. It could be anyone in the crowd, even you, fat boy, MVP said. Bobby Lashley would have done the same thing because you don't attack Bobby Lashley from behind. They also called Goldberg a coward. I wouldn't call him a coward. The dude was doing some of the best flips in the business. He also called the people of San Diego a bunch of cowards. And MVP says, if anyone thinks Lashley owes Goldberg or his son an apology, Lashley says, you can go to hell. The United States Champion Damien Priest interrupt and he defended Goldberg. Bad move. If you want to be a babyface, just say that Goldberg is old. You know what, Lashley? You're right. He's a coward and he's old. He's 50. He buried Bray Wyatt. People cheer. That's how you do it. How dare you call Goldberg a coward? You injured him and you injured his son, and I think you're a coward. And Bobby Lashley attacks Damian Priest. So that's okay. I don't know why would Damian Priest have a problem with Bobby Lashley. Is he a Goldberg mark? These are very few. That's pretty rare. But we saw the match, and I didn't mind, champion versus champion. That you can basically put that in the main event. It's not the best main event, but, you can do that. But of course, in typical WWE fashion, we saw Sheamus. He attacks Damian Priest because he lost the championship. Then Drew McIntyre, interfered. Guess what happened? 10 tries. I give you 10 guesses. I know it's difficult, but can you guess what happened? You would never guess. You would never guess. We saw a tag team match. Just the most boring, lazy WWE booking again. I mean, the match doesn't look bad. I didn't have a problem with the match itself. I'm just saying, why is it the same every damn week? By the way, Nick Khan said that he would like Raw to be 4 hours and SmackDown 8 hours. I like the way the man thinks. I release 50,000 wrestlers, I turn Raw into 4 hours. Just Genius plan! Bobby Lashley decided to leave the match, we got a Claymore, and the Babyface team won the match. That was about it. Later on the show we saw Sheamus, calling out Bobby Lashley, and we're gonna see that match next week on Raw, which is, I don't mind the match itself, seems like it's gonna be an entertaining match, but when it comes to the story, what does it honestly achieve? Not a lot. Doudrop says she regrets being with Eva Marie, but suddenly Eva Marie attacks Doudrop, starts smashing her head, and says this is evolution. Outside of her saying this is I can't say that. That's the best thing Eva Marie did since her return. When she was smashing the head, that looked pretty aggressive. That's the only time I actually liked anything Eva Marie did. We saw Ricochet versus Karrion Kross. What? Excuse me. What am I seeing? Are Retribution getting new members? What is happening right here? Why does this man look like a sex toy? He looks like a dildo. Why is this man dressed like a walking strap-on? And he's no longer in NXT, so yeah. That's gonna be tough. I feel so sorry for the man. WWE clearly have no idea what to do with the guy. I mean, when Kevin Owens came to WWE, into the main roster, it seemed like such a big deal. When Finn Balor came to the main roster, it seemed like such a big deal. When this guy came to the main roster, I don't even know if WWE would give him the Intercontinental Championship. It's so uninteresting. But he obviously defeated Ricochet in a very short period of time. Please ditch that attire, man. Please. We saw Moist TV with John Morrison. Special guest was Logan Paul. And oh boy, this man came with the heat. One of the loudest boo reactions I've seen in a while. He is beneficial to the WWE, that's for sure, and I don't mind seeing him in the WWE just for the sake of ratings and, WWE possibly getting new fans. But oh boy, he's so unlikable. I was about to not necessarily forgive the guy, but I thought maybe, he got older, wiser. The man is basically scamming his fans right now with all the cryptocurrency. Come on, man. It was so great hearing all the people not even allowing him to talk. He said, hey, I like WWE. I'm a big fan. I respect this. People still boo. Man, what a crowd. We saw The Miz, and The Miz is offended that this show is not about him. They started asking questions about Logan Paul's boxing career, about his brother, which, again, the boos were absolutely insane. And, rightfully so. The Paul brothers are just terrible human beings. Then Miz and Morrison started arguing. Morrison said, you made this show all about yourself. The Miz said, Moist TV wouldn't exist if it wasn't for Miz TV. They started arguing. We saw Xavier Woods. This turned into The Miz versus Xavier Woods. Who cares? Nobody. Well, thankfully we got a big moment. So, John Morrison tried to help The Miz, but unfortunately, Miz was about to win the match, but the referee didn't see it. So it was a 2 count. And Xavier Woods pins The Miz. And when you saw The Miz's face, you knew what's coming. They grabbed the dripsticks, started playing around, until bam, The Miz turns on John Morrison. And just to confirm that they're not reuniting anytime soon, he beaten the crap out of him for like a minute and a half or something. So, it's pretty clear. Miz turned on Morrison, we got a skull-crushing finale. It's over. A similar thing happened back in like 2008 or 9 when I think The Miz got drafted to Monday Night Raw and he turned on John Morrison. So, history repeats itself. Later on the show, John Morrison said, no more dripsticks, no more drip, all that nonsense. He's coming for The Miz. And next week, we are going to see that match on Monday Night Raw. Not on pay-per-view, just on Raw. Finally, this thing got old a long time ago. We were waiting for this rivalry. Unfortunately, WWE are not gonna make it as special as it should be. I can already see that. But finally, John Morrison is a babyface. He's so likable. During segments, nowadays, he's so great on the microphone. He's like a fish in the water. I obviously don't expect John Morrison to be the WWE champion, at this point in his career. That's not gonna happen, but I think he could be great in the mid-card or even as a United States champion. He's very underrated, and in my opinion, his return was kinda wasted. There's so much stuff you could do with John Morrison. Riddle has a surprise for Randy Orton. Orton says, "I don't like surprises. Don't do anything stupid." Would I do anything stupid? No. We saw Mansoor versus Jinder Mahal. Mansoor won the match by disqualification, but Ali is disappointed. Charlotte Flair is the queen and she's the new Raw Women's Champion. How many times are we gonna see the same segment? How many times it already happened this year? She's a new Raw Women's Champion, she's a queen, and she doesn't need the fans. I've talked about this already many times. By the way, during that Charlotte promo, Alexa Bliss interrupted and said hi. That's gonna be a Raw Women's Championship match. We saw Nikki, almost superhero, and Rhea Ripley versus Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. Why? I don't know. It seems like Rhea Ripley and Nikki A.S.H are gonna be a tag team, and they won the match. Fine. And we finally saw the celebration, which was a very, very good segment. So, the first gift was introducing them as Raw Tag Team Champions. We saw a lot of pyro, and Randy Orton was kinda into it. He thought he's gonna get something worse, but he has another present. He gives him a brand new scooter with RK Bro logo. AJ interrupts, and he claims they're gonna break that scooter as well. He also tried to manipulate Riddle by saying that you gave him all the presents, but Randy Orton didn't give you a present. Riddle doesn't care though, but he would appreciate a hug. So this turned into AJ Styles versus Riddle in a pretty okay match. The only issue I have is that, again, another rematch in the main event of Raw. Please switch things up. We desperately need it. Riddle gets distracted by Amos, but then Randy Orton attacks Amos. He even attacked him with a brand new scooter. AJ gets distracted, and that's how Riddle won the match. And these are your new Raw Tag Team Champions. Maybe Raw Tag Team's division is still horrendous, but the Raw Tag Team Champions are very good. So I don't know if it improved the division or not. Not sure. One thing's for sure, the champions are very good. Riddle is a great example of what kind of characters work in 2021. If Vince McMahon wants characters, these are the type of characters we need. It's not over the top, but he has a very, very different personality. So that was your Monday Night Raw. Like I've said, it's Raw. You can very rarely say that it was a good show, but this had some highlights. Unfortunately, the main storyline, Bobby Lashley versus Goldberg, is a storyline that nobody wants to see anymore. It needed to end at SummerSlam. Unfortunately, it's happening in Saudi, and there's a big chance Goldberg might just win the match. When is Survivor Series happening? Goldberg versus Reigns, that's very, very possible. Thank you for watching this video, the great one. Peace, love, and hugs. It's been a pleasure.